It's going to get cold over the next few days. I'll tell you how to prepare for this winter storm we're expecting coming up in a live report.
Rescue workers are still searching piles of rubble in Christchurch, New Zealand. We'll be speaking live with a California native who lives in the country in a nearby city.
If convicted, at least one suspect will face the death penalty. We have the latest on the Destiny Myers murder case. Your Central Coast News on Fox starts right now.
Central Coast News right now.
We are heading into a cold snap with the possibility of snow. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Katie Marzullo.
And I'm Arturo Santiago. Snow, wind, rain, and below freezing temperatures are all expected to hit the Central Coast this weekend. We might even see some snow as low as the Cuesta grade. Lydia Pantasis is live in Santa Maria with some tips on how to prepare for all this winter weather. Lydia?
Well, I'll tell you, definitely want to bundle up this weekend. The next few days, you want to prepare for power outages, and you also want to watch your plants, especially those sensitive to the frost.
Here we're definitely getting ready for the frost.
David Curiel owns the Old Town Garden Center in Old Town Orchid. He isn't taking any chances, especially with overnight lows expected to dip below freezing over the weekend.
It can make or break the business. I mean, you know, a lot of the plant material is very vulnerable to the frost.
His sensitive plants are already under cover.
We're taking all the precautions that we can to, protect our plant material, which is definitely our inventories.
Sensitive plants here, like succulents, citrus trees, avocados, are already covered in burlap. Basically a potato sack that's been cut.
If you don't have access to a burlap, a simple breathable product like a t-shirt, a bed sheet, something that's lightweight that is just going to keep the frost off the foliage.
Along with the cold temps, we're also expecting rain, even snow at lower elevations, which means we could even have some power outages.
Anytime there's a storm of this magnitude, we use our predictive models. We start to look at the service territory and see which areas could be hit hard.
Areas that are susceptible to power outages like Cambria, Morro Bay, and Oceana will be watched closely, and PG&E will be fully staffed this weekend in case of any emergencies. PG&E also recommends that you stock up on flashlights and also keep frozen water bottles in your freezer. Reporting live in Santa Maria, Lydia Pantasis, back to you.
All good advice. Thank you, Lydia. And while we're on the subject of the cold and stormy weather, let's check in a little bit early tonight with our chief meteorologist, Jim Byrne, on the details of what we can expect. Hey, Jim.
Hey Arturo, rain already to the north of us, even some light snow falling across parts of the Santa Lucia Range just east of Big Sur. This is the front itself moving through the San Francisco Bay Area. Some locally heavy rain in the foothills just above Santa Cruz. You can see a lot of moisture falling up around San Francisco east out towards Stockton, towards the Sierra foothills and Modesto. And again, this is just the leading edge of the front that will move through our area tomorrow. Now behind it, that's when we're looking at the very cold air to move in. You can see some light mixed precipitation up into the Santa Lucia Range here. But here on the Central Coast, things are pretty quiet. Temperatures into the 40s. It's pretty chilly out there. We do have mostly cloudy skies in place right now. We'll keep the clouds around tonight, and in fact, we'll be increasing, especially across San Luis Obispo County, where we could see a few showers popping up tonight after midnight tonight. But again, the bulk of the rain arrives tomorrow. We'll see some gusty winds with that rain. And then behind the rain by tomorrow evening, those temperatures should drop pretty quickly. And then we may be talking about some snowfall. I'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Jim. The California Valley Solar Ranch project will move forward. Today, the San Luis Obispo County Planning Commission approved permitting of the 250 megawatt project. According to SunPower, it would generate enough electricity to power 100,000 homes. It is also expected to help the state achieve its goal of generating 33% of power from renewable sources by 2020. A man from Santa Maria will face the death penalty if he is convicted of murder for the gruesome killing of a 15-year-old girl. Today, prosecutors announced they are seeking the death penalty for Mike Hill. He is one of 5 defendants set to stand trial for the kidnapping, torture, and killing of Destiny Myers. The judge instructed Hill's attorney to find fellow counsel with capital punishment experience. That is a rule of the court.
Do you have anybody in mind that you believe would qualify? I think there is an attorney in Santa Maria.
Prosecutors say they may seek the death penalty against Rhonda Wistow. They're waiting on evidence before they make their final decision. The DA's office will not be seeking the death penalty against the other 3 defendants. Santa Barbara police are looking for 2 men who allegedly attacked 2 others. The crime is believed to be gang-related. The victims were beaten by 3 other men at the corner of State and Haley Streets just before 1:30 this morning. Police have arrested 1 suspect. Earlier in the night, a 47-year-old man was stabbed several times on East Yananali Street.
Well, both these incidents occurred in public. They both occurred to people who really did not provoke, or the victims in these cases were not gang members. In our minds, they were innocent victims and victims of gang crime.
Police have arrested 21-year-old Jose Hernandez of Santa Barbara in connection with the attack on State Street. Police say he is a known gang member. The stabbing victim is expected to be okay.
A new TV show that follows the heroism of the Santa Barbara County and City Fire Departments made its debut tonight. The departments held a screening of the first 2 episodes of On Duty at the Earl Warren Showgrounds. The Santa Barbara City Fire Chief says he's excited about the show.
I'm a really strong believer in the visual medium, and this is a great tool for the fire department to communicate with the public.
On Duty with the Santa Barbara City and County Fire Departments will air on Saturdays at 7 p.m. right here on Fox 11, and also on Sundays at 6:30 on our sister station, KCOY CBS 12. CHP officers in Santa Maria paid tribute to 2 fallen colleagues today. Officers Rick Stovall and Britt Irvine were killed 13 years ago. Their patrol car had crashed into the Cuyama River after flooding had washed away the road. Officers are wearing black ribbons over their badges, and flags are being flown at half-staff in their honor. Another man was killed after driving into the river on that same day. Foreign mercenaries and Libyan militia loyal to Muammar Gaddafi are attempting to stop the uprising against Gaddafi's rule. They've attacked 2 nearby cities in battles that killed at least 17 people, but rebels have seized a military base. Gaddafi blames Osama bin Laden for the uprising in the country. Hundreds of Americans trying to leave are stuck in Libya. Bad weather kept their ferry from sailing. And the death toll does continue to rise in New Zealand from the powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake. 113 bodies have been pulled from the rubble in the city of Christchurch.
Native Californian Veronica Andrews now lives in New Zealand. Veronica is studying journalism there, and she joins us live via Skype tonight. Good evening, Veronica. It's what, about 7 in the evening where you are?
Yes, it is. It's about 7 p.m. Sun's still got about a few more hours of daylight since it's summer down here, but how are you guys doing?
We are okay. More importantly, how
are you doing?
How are you doing?
Good. It's been definitely a whirlwind week. Obviously, I'm not in an affected area, but it definitely hits very close to home since New Zealand's only a small country of about 4 million people, and it's pretty much the size of California, so it's definitely a small community here, and it's amazing how they've pulled together in such a tragedy.
Veronica, talk about that day when you heard what the reaction was where you were, if you guys felt anything in your city.
Yeah, well, I was actually at work, and I work at one of the local universities here, and so I was just at my desk, and I actually got a call from my grandmother in San Diego. She heard it right away, and I wasn't online, and the radio was kind of turned down low. We didn't feel anything because I'm located on the North Island on the West Coast, so we're about 450 miles away, and it was a really shallow earthquake, so it was hit really, really hard there, but it didn't travel very far, so a lot of the surrounding areas didn't feel it, but it was so sad hearing that they just got hit with another one, because they've been feeling tremors for the past 6 months since the last 7.1 magnitude earthquake back in September. So those poor people have been on edge, been stressed out, and have definitely had a little post-traumatic experiences from the last one, and just when this one hit, it was horrible.
Yeah, understandably so. What is the mood in the country right now like there, Veronica?
It's very somber. I mean, always on the news, the radio has been going non-stop because a lot of the Cantabrians, people that live in Christchurch and Canterbury, which is the region, you know, they have no power. They can't access the television, so they are picking up radio on, you know, their battery-operated radios. So I feel like it's, you know, first person you can kind of experience, and people, it's amazing the level of volunteers that are like offering just their homes, services, generators. I mean, I heard a story of a few ladies get together and they're getting on horseback to go and reach people that, you know, were stuck either because it's flooded or, you know, that liquefaction, that the roads are pretty much, you can't even get a four-wheeler on them to these people.
And just one last question, Veronica. In Christchurch, we understand there are curfews and different things to try to keep everyone safe. Are you free to move about where you are? Do you have any plans to travel?
Yeah, we're free. I mean, obviously they're advising everyone to stay away from Christchurch and Canterbury, and the airports are closed to inbound flights, but the Air New Zealand is doing a fabulous job by offering $50 airfare for everyone to get out of there, and people around the country have their homes open to strangers and letting them come stay with them, and they'll take care of you, basically.
Okay, Veronica, thank you so much. Excuse me, for taking the time to talk with us this evening and sharing your story and your perspective.
All right.
Okay, I hope she stays safe and good over there. The earthquake in Christchurch hit during lunchtime on Tuesday. It is being called one of the country's worst natural disasters.
On to some brighter news. San Francisco Giants fans from the Central Coast and up and down California were in San Luis Obispo to take a picture with the World Series trophy tonight. People waited downtown for hours today just for the event at the Farmers Market. The World Series trophy arrived at 6 o'clock. Not only could fans get a snapshot with the trophy, some people were even able to meet a Giants legend.
To be with the Giants for as long as I've been, since 1982, you know, you understand what it means to the people, and you think you understand. And you think how great it would be if you indeed ever got to the point where you saw a world championship, you got to ride the parade. But what we saw and what we got to do, I was not prepared for. It was overwhelming, and I'm still in awe.
Of course, this past fall, the San Francisco Giants ended a championship slump that had lasted for more than 5 decades. It's Shuttle Discovery's final mission to the International Space Station. Coming up on your Central Coast News, we'll recap the bittersweet launch.
The White House is honoring Motown legends. It is an impressive lineup of singers.